guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be bottling kombucha and doing the second ferment. Okay, so here we have my 2-gallon container of kombucha. And I can tell it's ready because if you can see, guys, it's fizzy on top there, right where the SCOBY is. It's a lot of fizz, so that tells me that it's about ready. Okay guys, I'm all set up. I have my kombucha in my continuous brew container. It has a little spigot here, spout, which makes bottling it really easy. I have my bottles already set up and washed, sterilized with vinegar and boiling water. And I went ahead and put some fruit puree. So I've pureed some pineapple, strawberries, and also some pears. Okay guys, we're ready to get started. What I'm going to do before I start bottling is to give it a little bit of a stir so that everything is nicely mixed up in there. And you can see my SCOBY. I don't know if you can hear it. You hear the carbonation that's already in there. So this phase of it, we're going to get it to where it's even more carbonated. All right, so let's get started with the bottling. All right, so I have my bottle of strawberry puree. And I'm just going to open it here. And we're going to stop a little bit from the top to give it some room to carbonate. So there we go. That's good enough. Okay, so that's one bottle, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover it nice and tight. Okay, there we go. And then take another bottle, do the same thing. I saved the bottles from previously store-bought kombucha. Every time I bought one, I would save the bottle, so I could reuse it. Put a little bit more in this one. Okay. And if you puree fruit, guys, and you find that the fruit is a little bit sour, you could, when you're pureeing it, you could go ahead and add some sugar to it because it does need sugar in order to feed it to create the carbonation. Okay. And then close it nice and tight. And do this till your kombucha is down to, this is a 2-gallon container, so I need to reserve back about 3 to 4 cups of starter. So when I get to about here, I'll stop. And here's another little tip, guys. Because once this process starts, the fermentation process starts, it could be that the bottle will explode. So I would just gently right now, when you're just bottling it now, tilt it a few times to get the fruit mixed up in there. And then after that, no more agitation. You could use fresh fruit, frozen fruit. You could use fruit juice. I try to stay with fresh and organic if you can. And as I said, this is a continuous brew container, but when I notice it's getting kind of gnarly looking dirty, I take the SCOBY out and the starter liquid and, wash it with some vinegar and some hot water. And if I find that the SCOBY has excess yeast on it, which is the brown stuff depending on the tea you're using, I will remove that too. But again, sterilize everything, including your hands. Try not to use any soaps. When you're working with this stuff, you have to be very careful, everything is sterile. Also, you're supposed to be using a wooden spoon, no plastics or metals. And once we get the bottles all filled up, guys, we're going to just store them at room temperature for about 3 days. This will help the carbonation build up, but I would suggest after day 1, you slightly open each bottle to get a little bit of the carbonation out, otherwise it might explode. And please use caution when opening the bottles. These bottles happen to hold about 2 cups, a little over 2 cups. So for this 2-gallon container, I should be able to fill about 14 of these bottles. And again, I'm holding back about 4 cups of the starter liquid along with the SCOBY to get my next batch started, which I will do in another video. I also forgot to mention, guys, I showed you the fizziness that was on there. You can also just taste the kombucha from day 10 onwards. This has been sitting for about 2 weeks, 14 days. You could go ahead and taste the kombucha and see if it's too sweet or too sour. If you find it's getting too sour, then I'd go ahead and bottle it. If it ever gets too sour, you can always add sugar, to your bottling process to sort of counteract the sourness. But I would, from day 10, start tasting it to make sure it's to your liking. And then you can check it daily after that. This has been sitting here for 2 weeks, which is perfect for me. And after 3 days, guys, you put the bottles in the refrigerator to sort of slow down that fermentation process, the carbonation process. And I would leave it for 24 hours and then you can drink. Okay guys, so here I have the kombuchas bottled up here, and I place them in a box, and I'm just going to put it in a warm area of the room undisturbed and leave it there for the next 3 days. And again, we're gonna, after day 1, we're gonna open them and burp them just to let a little bit of the carbonation out, and then leave it for 2 more days. And then at the end of the 3rd day, put it in the refrigerator overnight and leave it for 24 hours, and it's ready for drinking. Okay guys, so it's been 24 hours since we bottled the kombucha. So I'm going to just slightly open each bottle to burp it.